Because of all his magnificent power and for all his magnificent shininess, Saitama doesn't really get talked about unless it's about his super powerful feats, like the majority of his punches or his jump from the moon. And you know, that's just too bad. So instead of talking about one of those super powerful, ridiculous things, we're going to answer a question that no one asked, but perhaps many people subconsciously wanted to know. We're going to discover what Saitama's actual score was when he took the hero exam. Hello Internet, Jojo here, and today we're going to do a bit of admiring of the human form, but unfortunately it's the male form that we're going to be looking at in this particular case. After watching the One Punch Man episode where he applies to become a hero and takes a test, did you ever wonder what his score would have been if the examiners had not capped his points at 50 out of 50? Well, if you have wondered that, then this is the video for you, because my friends, that is what we're going to find out. So without any further ado, let's just get right into this. Now, to start off, we need to discuss what actual events we're going to use, because that's actually a difficult question. You see, in the anime, there are 7 events. There is the side-to-side jump, the 1,500 meter sprint, weightlifting, shot put, the vertical jump, the punching machine, and whack-a-mole. Yet, in the manga, there are only 4 events. The side-to-side jumps, 1,500 meter sprint, vertical jump, and weightlifting. This leaves us with a tiny problem. The score that he is given is out of 50, and probably means that there were either 5 or 10 events, with each event having a point value of 1 to 10 or 1 to 5, to make up all 50 points. Going by what the anime shows, it's more likely that there are 10 events, as the anime shows 3 more than the manga, and we see something involving kettlebells. However, because we don't actually see him do those other 4 events, and the fact that 6 events would look odd on the score chart, we're going to stick with the 4 from the manga, and then take 1 from the anime to give us a nice round 5. So, which one are we going to take from the anime? Well, I'm going to take whack-a-mole. I feel like this one is really good, because not only does it give us way more information to work with, but it's actually a fantastic test for hand-eye coordination. We actually see him do it, it gives a bit of levity to the situation, and I want to talk about it. I imagine that many of you might want me to calculate this punch, but I feel like he has better punches in the show, so this one's kind of irrelevant. Okay, so now that we know which of these events we're going to calculate, let's get this fitness test started. The first test that we see is side-to-side jumps. Saitama must complete as many of these as possible in 30 seconds. Now, the term side-to-side jump is not really a term that is used to refer to a workout, at least not one that looks like this, but the intent of this workout is clear, so we can find one that's relatively comparable. While there probably are a lot more exercises comparable to what we see Saitama doing, our best bet for terms of scoring, as we'll discuss later, are side jumps. Going by the Guinness Book of World Record, 1 jump equals 1 rep, and because it takes Saitama 0.12 seconds to go from one side to the other, we can discover that in 30 seconds, he would have completed 360 reps. Now, we need to know what makes a perfect score. Considering how high the standard for the heroes are, and the fact that people in anime are just way stronger and faster than they are in real life, we will use the world record as a perfect score. The world records for side-to-side jumps in 30 seconds is 71, so using this, and Saitama comes out to be 5.07 times faster than the world record, and assuming they did not stop keeping score of his points once he maxed out at 10, he would net 50 points in his first event alone. The next event is the 1,500 meter dash. For those of you using freedom units, that is just under a mile, and Saitama runs it in about 4.68 seconds. I say about because it's difficult to determine when he crossed the finish line. However, the longest you could reasonably say that it took him is stopping the count right here, as 1 frame later, he's already crossed the finish line. For Saitama to cover 1,500 meters in 4.68 seconds, he would need to be moving at about 716 miles per hour, or just under Mach 1. The world record, which we will be assuming is required for a perfect score, is 3 minutes and 26 seconds. This means Saitama is 44 times faster than that. Assuming that the examiners account for points past the perfect score, and this event would net Saitama 440 points alone. after the run, Saitama's next test was weightlifting. For this feat, we're going to use the manga as it's clearly a much better feat when compared to the anime. Now, looking at these weights, they appear to be completely solid. So, taking Saitama's height of 175 centimeters, just one of these weights would have a volume of 1.17 cubic meters. Due to the fact that these weights are a sleek black, we can assume that they are stainless steel, as most stainless steel weights are covered in a black rubber so they can be used easier when working out. Due to the fact that stainless steel is an alloy, it can vary in density, yet it generally sits at about 7,500 kilograms per cubic meter to 8,000 kilograms per cubic meter. But we will be using the lower one for this particular case. Taking the plate's volume of 1.17 cubic meters, and we get a weight of 8,775 kilograms or 9.6 US tons. Multiply that by the 8 plates on each side, and Saitama ends up lifting about 140,400 kilograms. This is the weight of 3.89 semi-trucks if their capacity was absolutely maxed out. Contrast this to a world record for overhead press, a lift of 240 kilograms over their head, and Saitama should come out to be about 520 times stronger than the strongest people in the world. Now, like before, assuming they counted this lift past a perfect score, and this event would net Saitama 5,200 points. The next event is Saitama's vertical jump. By stitching these scenes together from the anime, we get this mostly full image. Then, using Saitama as our ruler, and we find that he must have jumped a minimum of 29.24 meters upwards. That's nearly 96 feet into the air. Considering that the world record vertical jump is 165.1 centimeters or 5.4 feet, we find that Saitama must have scored 177 points. Hold up, Future JoJo here. I just want to let you guys know that the world record that I'm using in this video is from 2019. The current world record is held by Christopher Spell and his jump of 1 meter 70 centimeters. That is just about an inch and a half taller than the previous world record from 2019, which is the one we're using in this video. Okay, just want to say that. Back to the video. This one actually allows for a level of accuracy that none of the others do, as we can actually see how many hits he's doing by looking at the score on the machine. Using this, we find that Saitama is hitting 47.22 moles every second, or 1 hit every 0.02 seconds. Assuming that this test also runs for 30 seconds, like the side-to-side jumps, and he will be landing a total of 1,416.6 hits. Now this is where we run into a slight problem. The rest of these events, I used the world record as a perfect score, but Whack-A-Mole doesn't really have anything like that, at least not that I could find. But we actually have this. On the machine itself, we are given a number, 125. This is either a high score, a passing score, or a perfect score. I think it's very unlikely to be a passing score because it doesn't matter if you fail completely at one of these events, as long as you score enough points to become a hero. Because of that, we're going to assume that this is a perfect score. Also, that would be about 4 hits per second, and that's pretty fast. So, assuming that this 125 is a perfect score, Saitama hit 11.33 times more than that, giving him a score of 113.3 points. And that's it for the tests. If the Hero Association actually measured past the point max per event, then Saitama would end up with a total of 5,981 out of 50 points, or 6,002 points when you include his written exam. This would probably be enough to launch him into the top 5 S-rank heroes, and this is just based on his performance from these tests alone. Honestly, his performance from the Whack-A-Mole would have made him a S-rank hero. Actually, do you think that there is any hero other than Genos who actually went straight to S-class from this exam alone? I don't think that Puri Puri Prisoner, Super Alloy Darkshine, or Metal Bat have the mental ability. Sure, Genos claims the written test was easy, but considering that only 2 that passed and became heroes got perfect scores on the physical part, I imagine that it would be pretty hard as well. I would say that most heroes probably didn't even bother taking the test and were promoted to S rank right away because of something they did, or they just worked their way up through the ranks and did not jump to S class immediately. So let this be a lesson to you. Study for tests and don't let luck carry you, because like it or not, Saitama got super lucky on the written test. That said, Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Remember to stay spectacular. JoJo out.
I guess that takes care of that.